Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris, coming from the land down under in Western Australia. And I think it's official to say that the world has gone mad, or many of the people in the world have gone mad. I just went to Coles just to pick up a packet of paracetamol because my daughter's been having some pain in her hips and stuff from dancing, and there's nothing on the shelf. Nothing. No paracetamol, no ibuprofen, no cold tablets, no aspirin. No, nothing. It's all fucking gone. So all of us that haven't managed to get any have none. It's great. So someone's probably sat with fucking loads and we've got none. It is absolutely mental. And that's not just, I mean, you walk through a local supermarket and there's pretty much every aisle is empty. There's hardly anything of anything. Anything that was in a tin is now in someone's pantry somewhere. We managed to pick up a usual shop. Not actually a doomsday fucking everyone's going to die type shop, just a normal shop, and it was real hard work. Now, whether it's going to get any better or worse, I don't know. I don't know how much major supermarkets and stuff like that can actually get hold of and stock, but the way it's going, if everyone loses their mind and this epidemic or pandemic gets any worse, fuck me, I mean, it's the normal people that are going to take the hit. The fucking nutters who don't give a shit are the ones that are going to not be taking the hit. I can't get my head around it, I really can't. But anyway, let's have a shave. Soapmakers of Awesometown. From Barrister and Mann, by order of the Duke of Grand Fenwick, a luxury dragon tallow shaving soap. Now just so that the nutters out there who've got 30,000 rolls of bog roll know, this was actually an April Fool. There's no such thing as dragon tallow, but for you people out there that think buying every toilet roll on fucking earth is going to make you feel better and do its worst, that's just so you know it's not real. The brush is going to be my Craving Shaving. I love the coin, I love the little coin on his brushes. I love this handle, I love the colours. This is my Siri brush. It was based on the colours from the Siri logo from Apple, and it's got 26mm Duraknot in it. Got a little bit of the shakes today, through the shock of being nothing in the supermarket. It's got to the point now with this, I've got to talk about it a little bit. I'm not going to get the political side of it, I'm not bothered about that. I just think it's madness, the way people are buying stuff. But I am still in recovery, trying to get back to work, and obviously my arm is fully healed, the bone looks great, but the pain in my wrist is pretty bad, to the point where I can't really lift any weight and twist my wrist and do it. Opening heavy doors, pushing heavy doors, I really struggle. And I'm trying to get through that. I've been for an x-ray, I'm going for an ultrasound, then it'll be an MRI. See if I can find some sort of way through it. If not, I don't know what I'm going to do. But going to the gym is part of my rehab. And of course, a gym is a very dirty place anyway, in general. It's full of tools, it's full of machines, it's full of bars, full of dumbbells, sweaty machines, things covered in sweaty people that have got shitty hygiene to begin with, and then turn up there, sweat all over the place, don't clean up after themselves, don't use towels, all that sort of. Gyms are very dirty places in general. But with regards to viruses and things like that, there's no real worse places other than public transport than a gym, or I suppose a hospital, but they're just places that the general public go and actually do things. Gyms are probably the worst. And if you get public transport to the gym, you're getting a double whack. But it's getting to the point now, even for me, who I like to think that I am generally quite a sane person, that I'm pretty logical in my thought process, and I will be honest and say that this whole thing that's going on with the coronavirus, or COVID-19, or whatever you want to call it, has all been blown out of proportion. But it's also starting to hit home now, with all the things that are going on with government and how they're shutting schools down across some countries and self-isolating a lot. We've just found out yesterday that Australia, for the next 30 days at least, maybe longer, if you travel to Australia from an international place, so you fly from Scotland to Dubai to Australia, you must and are required by law to self-isolate for 14 days upon arrival in Australia. So if you booked a holiday and you come over here for a holiday and you've booked a holiday for 3 weeks, you've got to spend 2 weeks in self-isolation by law. Now, of course, it's all subject to people finding out that you're not self-isolating and all that sort of thing, but the other thing we've got to think of is as well, we've got friends and family from here, well, friends, not family at the moment, but friends that are abroad. So this law has been brought in whilst they've been away, and when they get back, they now have to self-isolate. So they can't go to work, they can't do all the normal things in life because they must self-isolate by law. And of course, it gets to the point now where we're going to have a lot of people going to the authorities, going to the local shahs, and for lack of a better word, dobbing people in. And I have no issue with it, but of course it's going to put a strain on people. It really is. It's going to put a massive strain on people. There's no real contingency plans put in place for those that are on holiday and coming back and then can't work for 2 weeks. They might not be able to pay their mortgage. I don't know how much of an impact it's going to have on people. But I think it's worth just sort of mentioning it, you know. So if you're coming to Australia, you're going to have to self-isolate for 2 weeks by law. Do you know something? This is going to be a cracking lather. It's not something I normally talk about, but I think it's got so crazy that I think you have to speak about it a little bit. I was sat outside my house yesterday. I'm up to the final book in the Harry Potter series. So I'm sat outside, I've got a coffee, I'm reading my book, I'm really enjoying it. And then I put the book down at the end of a chapter just to have a drink of coffee and just relax. Well, I was relaxing anyway, but just sit and sort of do nothing, just for a couple of minutes before I picked the book up again. And it sort of dawned on me that, as crazy as it sounds and the way it's going at the moment, if they don't find a cure or they don't find anything to stem the spread or whatever you want to call it, it could get to the point where sitting outside your front door with a book is frowned upon and not allowed. It's madness. It's quite a scary thought. And then one of the first books I read when I got back into reading, which was last year, it was recommended to me by one of the guys I work with, and it's called 1981, and it was written by George Orwell. And it was written, I think it was written in the 1930s, but sort of based in 1981, talking about Big Brother and talking about all these viruses and things like that that are going to come along. And in that book, it mentions a virus that will come along around 2020 now that will infect and cause issues with lungs and airways, and then all of a sudden it will disappear. He was really onto something, George Orwell. How good is this lather? I can't remember what base this is. I think this is Glisson. I could be wrong. Now the scent on this is very, very similar to Passione from Australian Private Reserve. I am pairing it today with the post-shave splash and the serum again, and the EDT. Now the EDT, I'll speak about it when I get there, has really impressed me, and not just me, my wife, which is very surprising. So here we go with the carved Christopher Bradley razor. My last Gillette Ruby blade is in here, probably the last one I'll be able to get for a long time, given that no doubt international packages will be stopped soon. I think I'll switch back to the B plate. Oh no, this is still the C plate. So this is a daily shave with the C plate. Now of course, I'm not worried about the coronavirus for me or my family, my actual immediate family in my house. We're all relatively young, we're fit, healthy, we've got no major or chronic illnesses, nothing at all, no respiratory problems that we know of. So as far as I'm concerned, that's not going to affect us, but it is of course going to affect the elderly, the infirmed, people. Oh, I think I've just nicked myself a cracker. Those who already have conditions, bad things going on with the lungs, and it's, look, at the end of the day, I think it's going to wipe a lot of people out. It really is. It's going to knock a lot of elderly on the head. And to be fair, the government's going to be that worried about it? I doubt it. God, I love the scent on this soap. This was actually a gift from Carl, over at Brown Man Shaves. And I'm forever grateful for it, because there's no way I could have got my hands on it any other way. Actually, it just looks like a tiny weeper. I don't know what happened there. This is such a nice note. It's very dense. It's got good scrub. It's one of the few synthetic notes that has a scrub that doesn't irritate my skin. Just needs a little bit of water. Even things like soap. Now, soap is generally readily available at your supermarket. There's normally loads of it. There's none, like no soap. That's only at our local store, but what's it going to be like everywhere else? It's going to be pretty similar, I'd imagine. There is a couple of soaps left over. There is a few soaps there, and as much as I want to buy them because it's soap, just full of chemicals and they're just bullshit. They're not good for your skin at all, and I would rather just run the risk of fucking coronavirus than a fucking dodgy stinking soap. But I've managed to get some nice soaps from Beard and Blade, which just got delivered today. You can't go wrong with this stuff. Mitchell's Wool Fat bar soap, massive big bar, 5.25 ounces I think of soap. Smells fantastic. Oh. That's right, across the grain. Come on, Matt. So one thing I will say is really this hobby that we have, it is really pushed, and what makes it amazing is the artisans and the people that make all these fantastic soaps, splashes, razors. Now, the majority of us will have razors, loads of them. We'll have razors that we love and we don't need any more. But soap is going to become a precious commodity very soon, I think. It's going to be pretty hard to get hold of. And me personally, I would rather spend my money on a wet shaving store or an artisan, something like that. You know, you've got like Moon soaps in America, you've got Grönlycka in Sweden and Swedish Witch in Sweden. We've got there's loads in Australia that do actual bar soaps as well. So it's just, I'd much rather give my money to them. Stock up now. You don't need loads because it lasts a while. This Mitchell's Wool Fat will last ages. I know it's not an artisan, but I'm giving my money to a company that that promotes and sells the products that I enjoy and use. They're also the only Australian stockist and seller of Australian Private Reserve, if that's what you're after. There's not a massive range of Australian Private Reserve at the moment. I don't know why that is. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, of course, but there is some stuff on Beard and Blade you can get your hands on. And I'm sure Dan will be working to get more stuff out. That there was an ingrown hair, which I pulled out about 20 seconds before pushing record on this video. This is such a good quality soap from Barrister and Mann. Now, of course, you have to take my comments on the coronavirus with a pinch of salt, because I don't really know what I'm talking about, in all honesty. I'm talking about what I've seen and experienced. I don't watch much news, don't read much news, don't listen to much news. Right, rinse the brush out. Takes a little while to get the soap out of this brush because it's quite dense for a synthetic. Still a bit in there. The reason I know there's still soap in it, if I squeeze it pretty hard, you can see it sort of keeps a stupid shape. If there's no soap in the base of your brush, it will generally spring back a little bit, and it won't hold its shape so much when you squeeze it together. You've got to get that soap out. It's really important that you get the soap out for the longevity of your knot mainly, but yeah, that's much better. See, when I squeeze it now, it pops back out. And it's a square looking knot anyway, so don't worry about the squareness, because it is quite a square looking knot in general. And with a synthetic, you can beat the shit out of it on your towel and you won't lose any fibres. There's a hair actually sticks, you can see it there, this one here, sticks away up. It's been there from the day I got this brush and it's never come out. I haven't done anything about it, I just leave it. So I've got one weeper here, but it's not a weeper, I've just nipped the top on where that ingrown hair was. One there, and other than that, C-plate, daily shave, spot on. I'm going to pop on a little bit now of Passione from Australian Private Reserve, and you can see all the, I think you can probably see all the bits floating around in there swirling. Got no idea what it is, but it's in there. Wonderful scent. This is a little bit more summery and like poppy, got a bit more zing to it. You don't need loads of it because there's loads of oils and stuff in here. Oh yes. Whew. What a scent. And then the menthol kicks in. It's good menthol, I tell you. Very nice kick of menthol. Probably way more than you need, but it's good anyway. So I'll talk about this. Soapmakers of Awesometown from Barrister and Mann. This was, I think, a 2015 or no, 2016 release possibly. It came out pretty much when I started white shaving, I think in 2016, something like that. There's no dates on these, which I find quite strange. In fact, you know, I've just noticed on here, this doesn't actually have the 12-month thing or anything on it. There's nothing on here in terms of dates when it was made or anything like that, but very, very nice scented soap. Performs exceptionally well. All Barrister and Mann soaps do, even Reserve if you can get the lather right. May also contain traces of dragon tallow, fairy dust, unicorn milk and elf tears. So there you go. It is an April Fool, by the way, before all you nutters believe me. Right, is that dried in yet? Almost. Now what I did find, putting the Passione post-shave splash on and then going with the serum straight after, is maybe just a little touch too many things on your skin. But I'm going to do it anyway, because I'm going to put this serum on after every shave and I use it every single night at the moment. I have to say my skin does feel and does tend to look nicer after I put it on. It tends to take a lot of the redness out. My skin does feel very soft now. It does leave a little bit for probably 20 minutes to half an hour, like a tacky, sticky feeling. It is there, no doubt about it. It's not the most comfortable of feelings. It feels a little bit like if you put a face mask on and it tightens your skin. I can feel it there. After about 20 minutes to half an hour, it's gone. I feel my skin, it feels soft, doesn't it? I feel my skin, sorry. I feel my skin and it feels nice and soft. And yeah, so it's pretty good stuff. 50 bucks a bottle. I just want to touch on something else with it while I'm here. Now, packaging for me, as you guys know, is massive. The environment is massive, and I'm a big advocate for trying to help the environment. Now, I'm not 100% sure or not. I don't know what this is made out of. This is Australian Private Reserve Restoration. This is the bottle. It's all plastic, the whole lot. It's a solid chunk of plastic. The labels. The labels for me look, I mean, I know this is 50 bucks. It's supposed to be the equivalent of like a 150, 200 bottle of dollars worth of quality stuff. But it's all plastic, so it's reduced the cost. And the labels for me, I don't know whether you can see or not, but they're just not very sharp. It's like they most likely are printed on a home printer or whatever it's done, but they're just not crisp. Like the circle around here, you can see around the edges, it's really sort of jagged and rough. It looks like Minecraft. It's like taking a nice photograph, chucking it in Minecraft and letting it pixelate and block up. That's what it looks like. The ingredients on the back, there is loads of them, but I do find with all these higher end products, serums and oils and stuff like that, they are full of products. And let me have a look, it doesn't have the ingredients list on here. So all plastic, 50 bucks for 30 mils, and it works very well, I have to say. I haven't had any real issues with it at all. If anything, it has made my skin feel nice, but it hasn't made my skin improve any better than what it was using Codex. Now, I just want to bring in the Codex. Now, this is Codex here. This is this whole company prides themselves on biodegradable, blah, blah, all that sort of stuff. Now, that's glass. It's printed on here with biodegradable inks. I don't know how they do it, but I have spoken to them. They have assured me that all the inks they use are all plant-based or whatever, and the way I don't know how it's done, but it is, whatever they do, it's done that way, and it's glass and biodegradable. The top, this, along with everything else. So this is, my wife uses this, I don't use this now. I use this one here, the Super Skin Food. There's a lot of stuff in here. What is it, 75 mils? You only need one pump. This will last me a long, long time, over a year, easily, with everyday use. Well, we know it's sturdy. So that'll last me, that Codex will last me over a year. Now that tube I just showed you is completely made out of sugarcane. The plastic top, everything, sugarcane, and it is biodegradable. This is glass. All this plastic here on the lid is all biodegradable. You can see there the quality of it. It's got the pipette for the oil. And as you push that down, it's really well built, but you push it down, twist it, draws it down, when you pull it back up it pops up, and automatically it has sucked your oil up. You can see my hand shaking. My wife loves this stuff, it's a very good product, but overall everything, the whole packaging, everything from Codex is biodegradable, eco-friendly, you name it, it's everything. Now, in order to keep costs down, this is how you keep costs down. Use plastic, the labelling. I don't know how Dan mixes his stuff, I'm not quite sure how it's all done, but you're paying $50, but you're getting something that's not eco-friendly, it's not biodegradable, unless Dan gets in touch with me and tells me this is all sugarcane, which I'm pretty sure it's not. I can sort of tell with just the look of it, the way it feels as well. It just feels like polypropylene, a solid plastic, unlike the Codex, which has a bit of a different feeling to the plastic. It's just something to mention. Anyway, let's chuck some on. That's been 5 minutes of talking bullshit again. Essentials Restoration Peptide Concentrate Serum. Good thing with this is it's got passion fruit scent in it, which goes with Soapmakers of Awesometown and the Passione that I've just put on. All I do is just run my hands under the water, get them wet, one squirt, like so, and then rub it in my hands. And that's it. Like I said before, I haven't looked up all the ingredients. I don't really care about it anymore in terms of this sort of stuff. You've got to diet something. It's just soaps and stuff like that I'm sort of a bit finicky with. But it seems to work. It's pretty good stuff. It smells quite nice. Doesn't smell as nice as Passione or Soapmakers of Awesometown, but it does have that passion fruit scent in it. It's pretty pleasant. And I'm just going to let that just dry in just a little bit while I talk about everything else. The brush was my turn and shave, no, it wasn't, my craving shaving Siri brush with a 26mm dura knot. Brilliant knot. I believe Milton over at Turn and Shave does have a similar knot which performs pretty much identically as far as I'm aware. Just a beautiful, beautiful brush. Very comfortable to hold, a good weight, it is impeccably made, it is flawless, there is no scratch marks, striations, nothing at all on it. If you get a brush from Charles Bullock over at Craving Shaving, you're getting a brush that's made perfectly. And he's getting better and better. The more I see his brushes coming out and his new designs and stuff like that, getting better and better. Excuse me. The carved Christopher Bradley razor in aluminium with my very last Gillette Ruby blade on about 8th or 9th use, I think. It's still super smooth, it feels fantastic. And I've had a cracking shave with it. You can see that's almost dried in now. Now I am going to finish off, before I leave you all, with my sample of Australian Private Reserve Passione EDT. Now this stuff, I don't know whether Dan sells these or not, it comes in a little glass. Now this is glass. I'm not sure whether it's plastic or not, it's irrelevant, doesn't really matter now. It is what it is. On here it's just got a little bit of PTFE tape that plumbers use just to stop it from leaking. But the scent on this, it's fantastic. It is obviously floral and fruity and all that, but I get away with it on me, and I look like a sort of rough and tumble, tattooed, bikey piece of shit. That's what I look like. This stuff smells fantastic, and my wife loves it. She thinks it smells like a beautiful sort of talcum powder, but even on me, she finds it really attractive, and I'm quite surprised, to be honest. I didn't think something like this would smell so good and have that reaction with my wife. And obviously, unisex, my wife could wear this as well, no problems at all. Longevity. It's fantastic. I get from this round about 6 hours, 7 hours roughly. Now for me, for an EDT with fragrance oils and aroma oils, I think he called them, or something like that, it just lasts very well, and the scent is rather complex. It starts out really fruity and sweet, and then it mellows out into this nice sort of, almost a floral green cologne fougere type thing. It's really, really nice, and I think he's done a fantastic job with the scent. I really do. It actually goes through layers, you smell it. I mean, it almost smells like it does smell like a really nice floral sort of sweet fruity talcum powder. It does have a bit of musky talky thing to it. I don't know how he's done it. It's a very nice scent. I'm very happy with it, and I most likely would buy, or will buy, the EDT, because I don't think, in terms of the EDT and what you get, it's not a lot of money. You don't need a lot of it. There's 3 squirts I put on there, and 1 on each hand, and that's pretty much how I roll all my stuff out. Sometimes I put 1 in the back of my neck if I'm at work rather than on the front. But it's fantastic stuff, really good products that smell great, and I'm really enjoying them. And with that, I'm going to leave you with it. If you've got any questions or comments, pop them down below. Try and keep them nice, try and keep them non-political. I think I've stayed out of the politics of the coronavirus. I've just spoke about it from a personal viewpoint of what I've witnessed and seen and experienced. But if I have touched on anyone's nerves, let me know down below. But try and keep it civil. I'm getting fed up of the angst and anger and issues in the world. It's just not really required. Stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive, and I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.